Did you hear about the new coffee shop near Wayne Manor?
I didn't.
It's called Frotham City.
Frotham City. I love it.
Welcome to the greatest DC comic show on YouTube. It's Fanboys Live and the Retro Review, where no show will start until the crown is in place.
Right. It's important.
Welcome to tonight's show. Mr. Signature King, how are you?
I am well.
I love hearing that. How did you celebrate Batman Day 2025, which was yesterday?
I took the kids to our local comic book shop and we did some comic book stuff. So it was fun. I let them dress up a little bit. They had a lot of fun.
Nice. Was there any Harley cosplay?
No.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Definitely not.
Okay. Just checking. So, well, that's good. And did you find anything good at the comic store?
Not really. It was really picked clean. In terms of some of the Batman stuff that I wanted to get, especially
some of the new releases for Batman Day.
The new releases. Yeah. I mean, I had all the new releases, but I really was chasing the Batman Day 2025 foil.
Oh, no luck though.
No, they only got a couple, and they sold out pretty fast.
Oh man, have to eBay that thing.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. Well, here we are back this time, and this week on Fanboys Live, we're celebrating Batman Day, our 2025 edition. We'll talk more about that when we get into the retro review, except to say that it's my personal favorite Batman story. It's a Bronze Age story. It's my personal favorite one. So that's the one that we're featuring tonight. But we're not doing this alone. We have not one, but two special Bat-tastic guests. And we're going to introduce our first one that's joining us all the way from the West Coast. Joel the Geek is back.
What? Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. How did you celebrate your Batman Day 2025?
With a migraine.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's the wrong answer.
Yeah, that's the worst answer.
Did you get hit in the head by a giant mallet?
No, I think I got slapped in the face by Batman.
Oh man. Well, Joel, thank you for coming back. Of course, we've had you on already this year, and it's always great to have you back. And yeah, so I was extremely excited that you're part of our show tonight and to review Where Were You the Night Batman Was Killed.
Or was he?
Yes. And I love your shirt, by the way.
Thank you. It's one of my favorites.
It's one of my favorites, too.
Wonder Woman Dazzler shirts, and it's one of my favorite Wonder Woman shirts.
Yeah, that's awesome. So great to have you here. And I should ask, was there any comic shopping in this past week in your...
Well, I did go somewhere today because there's a shop near me that has decided to close their brick and mortar store, and I got a few things that will be in my comic book editions this week. There's a lot in there.
Nice.
So.
Awesome. I look forward to catching it.
It's always sad when a shop like that closes, but on the other hand, the deals are pretty good.
Yeah, I got everything. If I'd not gotten it on sale, it would have been almost $150. So I got it for $90.
Wow. Nice. I love that.
Dollar books that usually aren't dollar books. So.
Nice. I love that. Awesome. Yeah. And I said we have two special guests tonight. We were supposed to have Super Russ on the show tonight. Unfortunately, he had to cancel. Hope you're doing well, Russ. And we look forward to having you back on the show sometime in the future. But I kind of put the bat signal out there and said, I need another guest for a 4-part story. And boy, it seems like it was just the other week this lady was on with us. And now she's back because it was the other week. It's Stephanie from Transmissions from the NX7062 Podcast. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We obviously didn't scare you off the other week when we had you on.
No, you didn't scare me off. And the topic for tonight, I was like, of course I'm going to come and help.
Well, that's great. How did you celebrate your Batman Day 2025?
By sleeping through the H&I run of the Minstrel episode of Batman 66.
That's not my favorite one anyway. So
it's not, but it's in the weekends. I always make sure I have H&I on because they have their comic book weekends, and usually I don't stay awake because it's like 8 o'clock in the morning, but I was awake enough to go, oh, it's the Minstrel, and then basically fall back to sleep.
Yeah, enough to acknowledge what was going on and then kaput.
Yep, exactly.
Very good. So your new season of your podcast show on YouTube, which is Star Trek focused, although you do delve into some other pop culture. And if there's something topical, I've noticed that you do talk about it too. Yeah. You're getting ready to gear up for your new season, right?
Week from tomorrow.
So that's awesome. I've left links for transmissions from the NX7062 and for Ghul the Geek in the description for this video. Make sure to sub them up if you haven't already. Let's head over to our live chat and check in and see who's hanging around, starting with Ruben Guzman, White Tiger, cool, calm, collected. Muabunga to you, Ruby G. Hope that you're doing well. We got Dan here, D. Piercy's Comics, and Dan is digging my shirt. So thank you very much. And if you're watching on the rewind, thank you so much for joining us also.
Oh, yeah, and notice my little hairband, which will become apparent when my turn comes up.
Oh, okay. Oh, look at that. Let's make it big for a second.
Big.
Oh, yes.
That.
Repping the DC. I love it.
Always.
Cool. Mr. Signature King, what's going on in the world of DC Comics news?
Oh, man. So much, but yet so little at the same time. So James Gunn said that he confirmed there is a short list of Batman actors.
Okay.
He didn't say who they were, but he just says, I have a short list. He did confirm that Mr. Reacher is not going to be Batman. Unfortunately, that'd be cool.
Okay.
Also, Gyllenhaal was
Jake?
Jake Gyllenhaal was a big favorite. He confirmed he is not in the running. Well, I guess someone put together a Vegas favorite for who was going to play Batman, and it is someone I've never really heard of, Brendan Skylar. I'm not sure how to say his name.
I don't know him.
He was in 1923. His big claim to fame. So I think I see where James Gunn is going to go. He's going to try to cast relatively unknowns. One, because it saves money. Two, they can put that into somewhere else to make a good movie. I get it.
There's also no comparison to other roles they've played or something too. It helps. I mean, he struck gold with Superman.
Yeah, people seem to enjoy David Constwright as Superman
on the Max app or whatever they call that streaming service nowadays.
Yeah, so I was going to mention that too. Superman is now streaming and on streaming platforms and becomes available for physical purchase this upcoming Tuesday.
And speaking of that, it sounds like they did that for a reason. Is because it is highly likely that Superman will appear in the new season of Peacemaker that's going on right now. Because James Gunn teased a major DC character. That's all he said was a major DC character.
And we've already had a couple from that movie show up already, so...
Yeah, the retcon.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it would make sense to do that. I mean, he's not going to introduce, like, Wonder Woman or Batman on the Peacemaker show, so...
Yeah, exactly. That does make sense. It's him or Supergirl.
Bring him back. Yeah, or Supergirl, but
Or it could be Crypto.
They just announced Crypto's going to be in the Supergirl movie.
Yay!
Yeah, I think we all kind of figured that.
Yeah. We figured it, but yeah, let's make it official.
I want to say hello to Glenn, who's joined us, Seeking Superman. How are you doing? Got the Superman guy here on a Batman theme show, although there is some Man of Steel in the retro review tonight, and his big nemesis. And Super Russ, we miss you too, and hope you're doing okay. Okay, Signature King, more news for us.
That's really all I have, unless you have something else.
I do have a little bit for you. So you know how I like to share when comic books are being announced for facsimile releases.
Oh, of course.
And yeah, and it sounds like the Force is with us.
Sorry, guy.
3 facsimiles that are announced for December include, since it's Batman themed, how about the first appearance of Two-Face? Detective Comics issue number 66 is going to be a facsimile release coming out in December. We have the standard edition. There is a foil edition as well. And then there is another variant too. Sorry, my screen went away on me. It is called the Blank Sketch and then the Mondo variant. So I'm not sure what that is.
A Mondo variant?
Yes.
Not sure why I know what that is.
Yeah. December 3rd is the release date for that. Another facsimile that is coming our way. This one, I don't think anybody saw coming. First of all, and I'm asking this more towards Joel because he's a little bit more of a comic book guy, a weekly comic book guy than you are, Stephanie. Joel, do you buy the facsimiles and do you like those or not?
If I think it's something I want in my collection that I don't either already have or think would be cool to have, like in this bag is a facsimile.
Okay.
But I don't buy them too much because the price is not the greatest because the way prices aren't today. I mean, if it was a facsimile and it was the price it was when it first came out, like I would totally buy it.
Okay.
If it came out like in the 80s, it'd be like 75 cents.
Yeah. Yeah. Different story.
Yeah. But some of those facsimiles that come out, I'm like, oh yeah, I have that when it first came out years ago.
Okay, cool. Stephanie, did you want to add something in?
I have a facsimile.
You do? Which one do you have?
Action Comics #1.
Oh, nice. You mean you don't have the original?
No, but I've seen it. Like, what did it sell for? Like $1 million or something?
It has sold for $1 million. So
Yeah.
5 million was the last one.
5 million was the last.
No, but I
sale,
settled
so.
for a facsimile. I do. It's somewhere. I'm not
Nice.
going to get up and look for it, but yeah,
That's fine. Nice. Another facsimile. This one I don't think anybody saw coming. I especially did not see this coming, but it's a pleasant surprise. Sensation Comics number 38 from the Golden Age with this nice holiday cover is getting a facsimile release in December. This is more interesting because even Sensation Comics number 1 has not had a facsimile release in the traditional line.
Have that as a facsimile.
Yeah. And there will be a blank sketch and a foil available on this too. And this is December 17th release. So right before Christmas, you have Wonder Woman alias Miss Santa Claus.
Ooh.
I love what they did with her shorts.
Right?
Yeah. They made them very holiday-ish.
Even her boots.
I was just going to say, and her boots. And her top.
Yep.
Yeah, they really Santa pimped her out.
Yeah, they did. So
That's gotta be hard to walk in snow with those boots, let alone on a roof.
I would think so. And DC is not done getting into the holiday spirit with facsimiles for December. This time they said, let's do a treasury as a facsimile. And they chose 1975's Christmas with the Superheroes limited collector's edition C43 is coming out as a facsimile.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Who's in the
It's
back?
not a limited collector's edition if they're reprinting it. Isn't that the Wonder Twins in the back?
Looks like
No.
No.
The Wonder Twins didn't exist back then. That's Sandman and Sandy.
I was going to say, I knew it wasn't the Wonder Twins.
Yeah. So this will have a foil variant as well, and it's scheduled for December 3rd also. What I need to do is look, because I have an original of this. I need to see, I don't think there's a diorama on the back, so Jackson Roykirk would be okay there. Now, I know that's disappointing our Shabab, because, she loves her diorama.
she does
Yeah.
want higher with that.
And she will rip that cover off and make that diorama. And the other comic book fans have a heart attack while she's doing it. And
I have a confession to make. I once took and made a calendar out of the box, a little box.
oh, that's a cool idea.
From comic books. I went to it and got like some cheap comic books and cut out those from the comic books to make a clock. So every one of the parts of the numbers were those instead of the numbers.
Yeah. Of course, Glenn's saying, they didn't have blanks, blank sketch covers back then or foils. So those so much aren't, they're facsimile-like, I think.
Right.
And I do want to say hi to some more folks who have jumped into the live chat here. I saw John's Comics with Friends is here. Yeah, glad that you've stopped by. I'm a good friend. John's got a good video. I haven't commented on it yet, but I did watch it because I'm a member's first subscriber, and it's about tips about what he did within a year on his YouTube channel and if it made a difference or not. So it was an interesting video.
Cool.
So I also see Glenn saying that he does pick up all the Superman and Batman facsimiles.
So he must have an Action Comics #1 too.
Facsimile he does. I'm sure he does. So, and I did see Steve White is here. We are going to have Steve White as a guest in the future on the show, probably next month, more than likely. So, yeah. So I'm excited to get Steve on the show all the way from Canada, where them comic books cost even more than they do in the U.S.
Going international.
Going international. There's no stopping this show. So I'm looking forward to that. Thanks for being here, Steve and John and everyone else, Russ and everyone else that's here in the live chat. And one other thing that I saw for news going on. Do you guys remember that there has been DC in the past? There has been DC Comics stamps, and I mean stamps like postage stamps. Do you guys remember that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There has. So the United States Post Office is celebrating a big 250th anniversary, and to celebrate this, I lost somebody. To celebrate this, they are letting people vote on what stamps should we bring back. And there are 3 different DC Comics options to bring back as stamps. Welcome back.
Sorry about that.
And let me show you what those options are. They have 3 categories. One is a general DC Comics category. And the other one, I'll click into it.
Whoa, look at all that.
Oh, gee, I think I recognize the one on the upper left.
Yeah, you can't vote for that. You have to vote for this category first.
Yeah.
There's 4 different Wonder Woman.
Oh, that's a good one. That's it.
That's the one I have, I think.
Yeah, so that's one option. There is Batman that you can vote for.
All right. Oh, Jim Lee.
I'm voting for the pig.
Right.
This is the one of Batman that I like the best, was that one. So, and then that general DC Comics one that I was talking about has a lot of different images.
Oh, that's a good. Oh,
That's a cool one.
Oh yeah. Oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah.
Flash. That's a classic Superman. Right.
Yeah.
There he is. Yes.
If there's no Shazam in here, I'm voting for the pig.
There's Supergirl.
It's Supergirl.
It's
Classic.
not Shazam.
Oh, look at that younger.
Plastic Man.
Oh,
Plastic Man is on here?
Man. Wowzers.
Plastic Man gets 2?
I think they all get 2. They get a
How many
cover and
are
then they
there?
get like a character close up.
Green Lantern. Oh, that's a tragic one. Jeez. Oh, there's a green.
Get some Silver Age GA.
All right, I'm voting for the pig.
Man.
And
Can we at
then-
least see what's up in the upper left-hand corner?
Let's see the Star Trek ones for sure. Yes. Gotta see those. It's a classic. Oh. Ooh. Oh, nice.
That one's not bad. That's it. I'd vote for DC too at this point.
Right.
Those
So
are,
you can go to stampsforever.com/vote and cast your vote, and there's no limit to how many that you can vote for. So Steve likes all the Wonder Woman ones. I have to agree. And Greg has popped in. Hey, Greg. Yeah, treasuries are fun. So,
Oh.
and then to answer the facsimile question, Glenn has 2 action ones, the standard one and then the one in the original Golden Age size. I have both of those too. So, very cool. Bye for now, Russ. Hope you're doing good.
Right.
And so news-wise, that's kind of where I come to an end. So we segue over into our retro review tonight. I was waiting for the Signature King to say something. I think he's salty about that Shazam.
I am salty about it.
So this is that's not the right cover. I know that. This is the my favorite Bronze Age. Well, it's actually my favorite Batman story of all time. It's a Bronze Age story. It's a 4-parter, which back then they didn't do a lot of 4-parters. Signature King, I can see that's not the right cover.
Oh, isn't that 219?
No, 291.
Oh, 291. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm I'm a ding dong. Okay, hold on.
No, it's okay. And it's a story that I've wanted to do for a long time on the Retro Review, and I always thought it was a perfect 4-person story to do. And we start out, in a minute, we'll show it to you, with a cover that I think is pretty iconic. And when you see this cover, it's this is like a wall book when you find it. Because I think mostly because of this cover. I mean, isn't that an amazing cover right there?
Yeah.
Panel, you like the cover?
That's cool.
All right. I'm talking the entire panel.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of soaking it in, trying to, I like what the Joker did with the paint. That's kind of nice.
Yeah. So I'll take it away with our first issue of 291. Where were you on the night Batman was killed? So in our first page splash, this is the night that Batman dies, and Catwoman, Joker, Riddler, and Lex Luthor are kind of saying, yeah, we're the ones who did it, but only one person killed Batman, so why is everyone taking the credit? The Batman is dead. It's being splashed across the world, and in all of the Underkingdom, the news is spreading, but there seems to be a different story. You know, in Chicago, they're saying that he was cornered up on a roof and he had no place to go. He got shot at, he fell off the roof. In Boston, there's a complete different story. In New Orleans, the story is he got hit by a car. Over in San Francisco, they're starting to say he was strangled. But the villains, or all these crooks, are like, everyone's got a different story for what really went on. It's driving everyone crazy, the question of who killed the Batman. In Miami, they thought he was, the Cavalier had stabbed him, and that was his demise. So they talk about how there's a trial in Gotham City to settle this matter. Everybody's claiming credit for it. The biggest names in crime, they're all going to be there. And whatever the conflicting reports and wild rumors that this criminal world is hearing has got it in an uproar. So a trial has been set. They're at the secluded estate of Colonel Jake the Claw Van Cleef. And Ra's al Ghul is going to act as the judge. The jury includes cutthroats like the Mad Hatter, the Spook, Poison Ivy, Scarecrow, Signal Man, and Mr. Freeze. And of course, one of our counsel, Two-Face, Harvey Dent himself. So they start out the trial, Who Killed Batman? And he says, all claims forwarded to us were screened and submitted together with supporting evidence to our jury. After due deliberations, issued a number of indictments. The first claimant I will call to take the stand is the Catwoman, Selina Kyle. She's got a veil on and she's in a little bit of mourning. And right away, Killer Moth is saying it's impossible. She's never killed. Everybody knows that. And she loved Batman. And she gets scolded immediately for showing grief over Batman. And she says, I killed Batman, but I care deeply for him and I mourn his memory. She's asked to tell her story. And she says, some time ago I dropped out of sight. I took a new name and completely changed my life and everything about me. Since then, some of you doubtlessly heard, since then I have been someone you doubtlessly have heard of, never dreaming that she was the Catwoman. I've been Madame Claudine, a celebrated lady in Gotham's most select circles, a friend and confidant to the best people in town. And she talks about how 3 weeks ago she was having an exclusive fashion show for the notorious and well-to-do of Gotham, and everything was going fine until a robbery took place. And you'll notice that blonde lady is Catwoman in disguise as Miss Claudine. And a stick-up takes place, and Batman shows up instantly and starts punching out the crooks that are trying to rob the wealthy. We get a great full-page splash next with a nice red background. Batman just whopping all the villains. You can almost hear the pow, zap, boom, biffs going on here. And Catwoman says how wonderful it was to watch him fight and for once not be part of it. At that point, they started to flee the scene, and she saw one of them run into her office, so she ran in right after him. And Batman instantly knew that it's Catwoman. And she's like, I can't tell you how glad I was to see you, Batman. And she's like, I think I deserve a kiss. And he's like, let's postpone that indefinitely. I've been watching over you. I've been tailing these hood for days, waiting for them to spring. And when they finally do, they let me straight into the establishment of the Catwoman. A fascinating development. She's like, I'm not the Catwoman anymore. I've gone legit. I've reformed. This is a whole new life for me. All of a sudden, there's a sound from a thug on the floor. He starts coming to. And Batman's like, well, maybe I can get some information out of him. So the Batman leans over and starts to say something. And then he hears the man keep saying over and over, right as he dies, Two-Face. Two-Face, 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 over and over and over again. And then we cut back to current trial where Two-Face is offended. He's saying, are you telling me they used my name? And she says, I'm just telling you the way that this happens. And he objects to it, but they flip the coin and it allows Catwoman's testimony to continue. So they take this man out, and Batman is wondering, he has a very puzzling question, why should he be telling us that Two-Face is behind this heist? So he's like, I'll stay with him at the hospital, and I'll join you there shortly. And when he's alone with Catwoman, she says, are you going to expose me now? And he says, what is there to expose? You say you're living a new life and that, that you're innocent. And he says, Catwoman, you have nothing to fear from me. It's a new life and a new front until we meet again, Madine Claudine. And he walks out on her. So she takes the wig off. She puts her guys back in as Catwoman. And she calls some of her goons and she says, hey, I'm going to be there in a minute, although it might take me a little bit longer because I have to make sure that I'm not followed. So she takes off in her car, and it's past midnight when she gets to this lodge in the mountains. And in a few minutes, she says, I would be leaving the semi-wilderness, this refuge, forever. So she's inside, and she's talking to Cody, who's the man that she just called. And he says, who's going to be hunting you? And she says, the Batman. I know it, and there's Batman's shadow. He jumps down, starts fighting Cody. Catwoman snaps her cat o' nine tails at him and binds him temporarily. He whips her around, and she knocks Cody out. Cody's goons are in there, and once again, biff, pow, boom, zap. And they're all taken care of. It was over in such a hurry, and Batman has captured Catwoman. You can go on to the next page. She asks if he's proud of himself, and he says, not especially. You make this too easy. That thug in your office, he ducked in there because he was working for you. Tonight it was a brazen heist, but you've been ripping off your celebrity clients all along based on all this information that I got. And he sees all this loot that she's collected in the past few weeks, and he also notices 3 long whisker hairs from her baby cat, I say with quotation marks, the Jaguar. And that's how he put it together, that it was Catwoman. Unbeknownst to Batman, he gets hit in the back of the head with a gun, knocked out cold, kaput. So Batman's now in the back of a trunk no, he's not. Catwoman is taken up, and Batman is following him in the Batmobile. And he's revived a lot faster than she thought he would. And then finally, he rams her, and both of them go over the edge, landing in the water in the river. So Catwoman's able to get out pretty fast. She's got her cheetah, or she's got her Jaguar with her on top of the Jaguar's cage and some of the gold. And she sees Batman is struggling, and he's reaching his hand up through the water trying to get to her. And she has a choice to make. If she pulls him up, the weight of that could sink them down. So she makes the choice, and she takes her heel, stomps his hand, and then watches him drown. She says he sank beneath the foaming waters, and that was the last I or anyone else will ever see of the Batman once again. So we come back to present day, where Two-Face is grilling her, and he says, this isn't possible at all. And she's like, I have told you the truth of what happened. So he says, bring in Exhibit A and Exhibit B. So he says, you keep your Jaguar in that cage, right? And you told us you kept it afloat to save your life. And she says, yeah. So they take the cage and they dunk it into the water and see that the cage, from the material that it's made out of, instantly sinks. And they're like, there's no way at all you could have been the killer, because we've just disproved what you've said. Yes, just like Jack and Rose in Titanic. Thank you. And the jury see absolutely, while Catwoman's saying, "This is a phony cage. You've doctored this up." And they're like, "No, get off of Catwoman. You are not the one who killed the Batman." And this court stands adjourned. And that wraps up this issue. And we'll go into Signature King next with the testimony of the Riddler.
Yeah, so I like this story. You know, I read mine, and I kind of got the sense that it was going to be like that. This from the point of view from all these villains, and sounds like I was right. It was pretty cool. Who killed the Batman? Testimony of the Riddler. So we will pick up right at that cliffhanger. So Selena Kyle gets off the stand. So they're calling the Riddler next. By the way, I think Ra's al Ghul is the judge. I think that's perfect. I don't know why.
That's
it just
pretty
fits.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it just fits. So they're talking to the Riddler, and the Riddler is smoking a cigar, and it explodes. Kind of funny. He gets kind of scolded by Two-Face, who's taking this thing way too seriously. So they Riddler is kind of getting into the how-tos he did it, and so he's saying that when he always left Batman a riddle about where to find him and what was going to happen, and he's saying that once I saw the Batmobile coming, my plan was to drop this huge mirror in front, but Batman actually was able to stop in time, so that kind of foiled that plan. But as soon as he got out and started to read what was on the mirror, it exploded right into his face, which the Riddler was very proud of it. But Batman was able to figure it out where Riddler was based on the clue where he was going next. So like Batman, he met the Riddler's goons at their next location, and there he is showing up at this truck. So the Riddler was saying, first they block the truck, then they throw grenades at it to disable it, but they didn't anticipate Batman being there. So as Batman does, he takes out the goons, and then the Riddler is saying that he shot Batman, which we find out that that's not the case because there was no body, so Batman was clearly still alive. We cut back to Bruce Wayne, and this is kind of like how this plan was going to go down. Bruce Wayne is being charming, being a billionaire playboy. And there's the big prize for the evening, and it was get this. This part made me laugh. It is a typewriter made of gold and platinum and ivory. Its keys are studded with diamonds and rubies. The ribbon is made of silk from the robe of some person from another dynasty. I don't recall. It's encrusted with all kinds of jewels. A typewriter.
Wow.
That's like us getting, I guess, a VCR made out of gold. I don't know. Just pretend it's a gold-plated VCR. So anyway, so obviously the goons are here to rob it. Batman quickly fights the goons, and then he gets knocked out again. Batman comes to, and there is another riddle. I'll read it here to you. Once again, take new aim, meaning different, word the same. The object of the hunter's game is what gives this place its name. Wow. Very confusing, or not confusing at all. So Batman's he's figured out. He's at the church on Hunter's Road, outside of Gotham City. So he goes there. It's an old abandoned quarry. Sure enough, he was right. The Riddler is there, and Batman is like standing underneath these big rocks, and the Riddler cuts the rope, hoping to crush Batman. Clearly, it doesn't work. So the Riddler sets a whole bunch of dynamite on fire, and it explodes. And the Riddler's like, that's how he died. So Two-Face says, okay, great. Everybody outside. I'm going to prove you wrong. So he puts Riddler up on the platform, and with a whole bunch of fire and dynamite, the dynamite is soaked in gasoline. So preparing for a big explosion, they tie the Riddler up there and set everything on fire. And as it turns out that dynamite can't explode when it's lit on fire. You have to be. It only explodes under certain conditions, and it turns out that he learned this by when he was a young boy. He went to some lumber camp up in Maine, which I thought was really funny. But the court agrees. The Riddler is asked to leave and fined $25,000 for damages in the dynamite demonstration.
Wow.
Up next, and that's it. So up next, we have the testimony of Lex Luthor.
That's right. And Stephanie will take that away from transmissions from the NX7062 podcast.
Hence my hair band, because Brian knows if you're going to ask me to do this, you got to ask me to do the Superman. So we've got Lex Luthor, as if it wasn't enough. The Rogues Gallery wasn't enough. We're adding Lex Luthor. So, yep. So Lex, in his customary, brainy, complicated way, has decided that his way of killing Batman's collateral damage. He's going to switch Batman and Superman's consciousness between the two bodies so that once Superman is in a mortal body of Batman, he can kill Batman, but Superman really dies. So that was his whole big plan. And in his usual egotistical way, he's swaggering into the courtroom in these kingly garments because he's like, I'm going to be the king of everybody now, because like not only did I get rid of Batman, I got rid of Superman. So that's his whole big thing. So he's swaggers in, he gets on the stand, and now it's time for him to tell his story. By the way, I have to say, reading like the intros, I could hear the guy from Batman 66 like recapping every time.
Oh, the narrator. Yeah.
The narrator. Like I heard Batman 66 narrator like this. Yeah, exactly. So now Lex is all ready to tell his story. Notice he's not even sitting in the witness chair. He's just standing up and he's ready to go into this complicated plan that he's got to do this. Oh yeah, and he has an opening statement. Let's not forget. Like he has to be like, "Oh, this was my grandiose plan, and I'm going to go through it step by step." And the first step he decided was to trick Superman to showing up at a specific place and a specific time, having it. It was for. Let me wait. Hold on. Superman had to do was address the PAL on the subject, preserving our environment. No strings attached, no alternative but to accept, because somebody said, I'm going to give $1 million if you show up at this day and this time to talk to the PAL about an environment, like all of your favorite things for $1 million, just show up and be on the dais. And that was step one. So then step two was that he had to move Batman into position for this. So his whole big, okay, let's see. Aren't you letting the witness? Oh yeah, that was the other thing. They got mad at him because he was just like rambling on. But it's all relevant. Everything about Superman's relevant to the Batman thing. So they let him proceed with this whole long story about an exhibit at the Gotham Museum of Art, that now he's got this big idea that he's going to make sure that Batman shows up to protect this, especially the ancient art created for royalty. He's like, I've got this crown, I'm going to set it up. So Batman shows up at the exact space. Not only does he have to show up at the exact place and the exact time, but he's also going to look up. Like this is this whole convoluted Lex Luthor style deal that he has to get Batman and Superman in the same place at the same time. So he's telling his thug, he's sitting here, he's telling his thugs, okay, guys, this is what we got to do. No, we got to do this. You guys have to do this, and this. And then I'm going to flip the switch. And it all has to happen by 9/17. So Luthor's telling the story about how his thugs come in and they're acting like they're going to rob the museum, and it's time to blow the safe. And all of this design, they don't even care about the crown. All of this is designed to lure Batman in. So, of course, next page, sorry. So, of course, right as the safe explodes, in flies the Batman. And so now it's time to have the boom, crash, bang, fist fight with Lex Luthor's goons. And again, it's all designed literally to get Batman to stand in this one space. And Lex is talking about how not all his poor goons, not only did they have to fight Batman, but they had to watch their watches too, because it has to happen at 9:17. So all the goons are fighting. And then they all have to maneuver Batman. You can see in the bottom panel, they all have to maneuver Batman onto this little compass thing on the floor. Next panel, just as the clock strikes 9:17, Luthor sets off a flare. So Batman, of course, looks up. Luthor's got this sky surgeon satellite in the out. Oh my gosh. It's in space, hovering over the Earth, just waiting for Superman and Batman to both look up. So when they look up at the appropriate time, and of course, Luthor, thinking he's the smartest guy in the room, without going into technology far beyond your comprehension, inside my orbiting satellite Sky Surgeon, there are twin action mass rays. So these mass rays hit Batman and Superman at next page. Hit Batman and Superman at the same time because they set off a flare while Superman's on this podium, so they both look up. And the whole point of this is to switch their consciousnesses between their two bodies. Batman becomes Superman, Superman becomes Batman. And you see an unconscious Superman lying on the floor. So everybody's like, what's wrong with Superman? Batman doesn't know what the heck. Batman, the same thing. He wakes up. He's like, they're all supposedly confused because they're in each other's bodies. Batman's running out. You can see in the last panel on this page, he's trying to fly. Superman has no idea who he is, and Batman's trying to fly. Lex runs out. He captures Batman. I used a steel net that Superman could have broken through, but because he's trapped in Batman's body, I've now got the Batman. He takes him away. He's got his superpowered glove on. He's ready. Exactly. Freaky Friday. He is ready to beat. Am I allowed to swear? Because he's going to beat the shit out of Batman.
No, you can't swear. I'm kidding.
Well, it's too late now.
It's too late now, right? FCC. He beats the shit out of Batman for every wrong that Superman has ever done. I mean, he's thinking he's unleashing all of his rage on Batman, and he literally beats Batman to death, thinking that it's really Superman. And then in the next page, the fighting just goes on and on and on. It's 2 pages worth of fighting. And then we get to this last page where he's like, all right, now that Batman, quote, Superman and Superman are dead, I'm going to put him in this coffin. I'm attaching him to Sky Surgeon. And now he's going to orbit the Earth for the rest of time. Ta-da! Aren't I great? I'm going to be the king of all, because not only did I get rid of Batman, I got rid of Superman. And so, of course, now he's all proud of himself. Let's see, reincarnate this. Okay, so now he's saying, I'm Lex Luthor, ruler of the world. And then Two-Face comes in. So Batman's death accompanied first by erasing his mind and consciousness, then by killing his body. And Lex calls that a whole, waste product. I got rid of Batman, but just whatever. And then I claim... So, of course, Harvey Dent, prosecutor, he's got his witnesses. So he calls in. He's like, all right, I've got a witness. And Luthor's like, what kind of witness? And it's Sparky Grimes who has to take the stand. And he's one of Luthor's henchmen. And Sparky's like, I don't know what I'm doing here. They just told me to show up. You know, when Raja Ghul and Two-Face tell you to be somewhere, if you're a henchman, you kind of sort of show up, right? Next page, Harvey gets Sparky to admit that one of Luthor's other guys who was supposed to know everything about the plan, Sparky's like, yeah, this guy came in and he was asking me about the plan, or I was talking to him, and all of a sudden it's like he didn't remember the plan. He kept asking me stupid questions like he didn't know what was going on. So I told him to go lie down and, get himself together because he's really supposed to know what's going on. Well, it turns out that when Sparky went to look for the guy a little later, he found him in a closet. He had been knocked out for an hour. So whoever Sparky spilled all the beans about the plan to wasn't really his fellow henchman. And of course, Luther's all, I object. Why is anyone listening to this garbage? Not only is there no shred of proof for any of this, but how could the Batman know enough even? Okay, so you find out, sorry, I skipped a part. You find out that the henchman really was Batman in disguise, learning all about the plan. And it turns out, basically, Batman and Superman figured Lex Luthor out way before any of this happened. And they put together their own plot to spoil Lex Luthor and let Luthor think that he had actually won. Because, honestly, it wasn't Batman he beat the shit out of. It was Superman in a Batman costume. And Lex is like, wait a minute. You guys outsmarted me? How is that possible? You're lying. You just don't want me to be the ruler of the world. You don't. Ooh. Of course. You know what? I brought my really good cheat sheet and now it's stuck. It won't. Ryan, can you flip for me for a second? Because I can't even flip it now. It's stalled. Thank you. So Harvey's like, all right, surprise witness, just like any good Law and Order or Perry Mason episode. In flies Superman. Okay, Lex, see, this is what happened. He's saying, we basically figured you out a while ago. And part of the reason is that the Superman would have done the engagement at PAL for no money. He's like, I don't know. But then upon closer inspection of this $1 million check that was made out to me so that I would do this, he realized it was Luthor's bank or Luthor's lawyers. Duh. He's supposed to be this big kingpin. Does he not know how to launder money enough so that somebody can't trace a check back to him? That was pretty stupid. So once Batman and Superman figured out what Lex's plan was, Superman set up this protective shield. So when the ray hit him, it didn't hurt him. Batman avoided the ray. And like I said, and then Batman and Superman switched costumes. So when Luthor was beating the crap out of Batman, he was really beating the crap out of Superman. And Superman was just anticipating all of Luthor's moves so that every time he took a hit, he made it look like he took a hit. So basically, Luthor, you went to all this trouble for absolutely nothing except to look like an idiot in front of all of these people that you were just literally talking down to. And this is the thing, until I read all of them, and I'm thinking, okay, I get that Superman gave immunity to the other criminals so that he could just show up, basically, and show up Luthor, so I totally get that. But then he's just like, yeah, I don't know where Batman is. And I was like, he's supposed to be your best buddy, and you don't care, but... but whatever, Soups, you do you. So that's what? 3 down, 1 more to go.
Yeah, because the jury's saying not guilty.
Yep.
I wonder where Batman is.
Yeah, before we get started, let me really quickly say hi to a couple people who've jumped into the chat. Mr. Gretzky 9966, Matt is here. How you doing? And our friend Kenneth Bird is here as well. So, how is this story going to wrap up? We have the testimony of the Joker to tell us, and with that, Joel the Geek.
Dun dun dun. All right, so we get a little recap at the very beginning there with Joker. And this is interesting because I liked how they put the juxtaposition of Batman in the middle and Joker on the outside, whereas the other ones that showed the plaintiffs or the people trying to say they did it, and then I almost gave away the end. Spoiler. We'll call him Tommy Lee Jones because he looks more like Tommy Lee Jones than he does any other of the two faces. So we get this big spreadsheet, this big spread here on this next page where you have all these villains that have gone against Batman at some point. Some of them I'd never seen before, especially that guy there, like who's got like this weird outfit where he's got a purple top and this yellow-green set of pants. That's
Killer Moth.
Is that Killer Moth?
That's Killer Moth, yeah.
Gosh. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was just so interesting to see all these different people and naming some of them. Like, I never heard of them. So if you go to the next page, we see there's the Clue Master. There's what was the other one on this page? Yeah, there's just the Cavalier. I'm like, Cavalier, what? So there's a lot of like Silver and Bronze Age villains we see here, and then even like the new jury that's been formed together. I mean, I've never heard of some of these people. Like, who the heck is this group of people? The guy, my favorite is the guy that's wearing the submarine helmet.
I think that's Mr. Freeze.
Is that supposed to be Mr. Freeze? Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, he was part of the jury.
Oh, it's so great. It's just so great.
And Signal Man is standing behind him.
Yeah, Signal Man, and then the guy in the hood.
Yeah.
It's really funny. And then I love whoever the artist was on this, definitely giving Cesar Morero vibes to the Joker that we have in this story, who ends up telling his story to the jurors and the people there in the house. He talks about going to a furrier, which is where you go to buy furs, to steal some furs, but then realizes there's someone else there. Fools of furry. Yes, they are fools of fury. He almost wants to engage in the fight with this guy, but then he decides, no, I'm going to let this guy fight Batman on his own. And Batman takes this guy down, this other person. My favorite panel, though, is I think we passed it already, but it shows Joker laying down with his feet in the air, like so
Doggo style.
Oh,
Right
what's
here.
happening? Yeah, there, right there. Just like, what? Like, just an afterthought. The artist is like, let's just put this extra little bit in. Like, what is this naughtiness about? Oh my gosh.
Reminds me of a song.
What song does it remind you of?
It starts with Face Down.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so essentially, Joker decides to use this as a teaching moment for himself to learn more about Batman's fighting style, how he fights, what he does, what his punches like, where does he throw his punches, trying to find out what his weaknesses are. And he learns a lesson in who Batman is. And he is able to get away from the furrier without being caught. Goes back to his hideout, which is called the Hacienda, or Hacienda, however you want to say that. And of course, in his hacienda, he also has another picture of Batman with some darts in it. Again, standing in this very, very, very gay pose. I mean, geez, man, your butt does not need to be like that for any reason. And he tinkers with his toys a little and decides, you know what? I'm going to go back to the scene of the crime and see if I can get stuff still, because of course he left his way of getting into the furrier open and getting past all the security measures that this furrier has. So then he gets in there and there's Batman again, but Batman's saying something to him. He doesn't really listen. He just starts talking and blasts him with his one of his fun weapons that he has, knocking him out. But also, what he doesn't realize until later, if we turn the next page, that in the fight that he has with him, which he of course thinks about everything he learned from the last time he fought him, how to avoid his punches, how to get his weaknesses and knock him unconscious. But he doesn't just knock him unconscious. He accidentally kills him. Dun, dun, dun. As we see in the next page, he did that and he figured out it was his little ring he had on. He had put something in his ring that would actually harm someone, and it worked accidentally. But being Joker that the Joker he is, which I think is really cool, because most Jokers, even today, and even there was a recent cartoon where Joker talked about how he never wants to spoil who actually Batman is. He never wants to know his actual face, who he really is, because it will just spoil the kind of relationship he has with Batman. So it makes it to where no one can figure out who he really is by doing something to his face where it almost just takes away all of his facial features and makes him like a doll with no painted face. And that's his story he tells to Two-Face. Two-Face does not agree with this. He is flat out like, no, sis, I know the real truth and you're wrong. And of course, you turn the next page and Joker being Joker has to go into a tirade about what happened, what he is and who he is and what he knows. And this is a farce. And Two-Face doesn't know anything about what he's doing and he has evidence. Well, of course, he doesn't bring the evidence with him because, this isn't a court of law court. It's just a court of fools. And he says, I will go get my evidence and I will be right back. Great. So everyone leaves, and so does Two-Face. But Two-Face does something that is very out of the ordinary for him. He starts tearing his face off. And as the narrator says, he magically, slowly transforms into Batman. Batman. This whole time. He then recounts the other issues we've just read about Catwoman and how he unmasked Catwoman, how he unmasked the Riddler, how he unmasked Luthor. And then he goes to where the Joker's hideout, because, it's the Ha Hacienda. Most everyone knows where he lives. It's Gotham. They all know where everyone lives. And he confronts the Joker there, putting him in handcuffs, but the Joker tries to get out of the handcuffs using some ability of his with some headband, but Batman uses his wits about him to figure out how to keep himself from being fully this time actually killed by the Joker. The Joker has this fun little headband that I just love the oddity of science in comic books. Like, I'm just going, I don't think they know what those words mean, and they just decided to use them. But anyway, the gist of it is he's trying to mesmerize Batman into seeing something that isn't real and keep him on, putting him in this vertigo state. Batman figures out the best way to get out of it is just hit everything. I'm just going to hit things. I'm just going to hit things until I hit him. And he eventually does hit Joker, knocking the headband on him that makes him have this vertigo effect. And he takes the Joker away. And the Joker's surprised when he gets to Arkham. He doesn't know, of course, that Batman was Two-Face. And this is where the Joker figures out what Batman did and loves it. He is just on cloud nine. He loves that this occurred, thinks it's the best thing ever. And of course, because Joker's the Joker, such a sociopath, he doesn't care about who actually died. But we do find out who actually died when Batman talks with Commissioner Gordon about this young man who's a big fan of Batman to the point of wanting to be him. And he talks about, in general, how this is something that happens a lot. If you go to the next page, there's a lot of people out there that try to emulate Batman, try to be copycats of Batman. And Commissioner Gordon found out, of course, it wasn't really Batman who's dead when Batman, surprise, surprise, shows up at the scene of this dead man that the Joker killed. We learn more about this guy who seriously spent years following around Batman, trying to figure out who Batman was, and in the end died in that. And in the end, he lets Commissioner Gordon know that this is going to happen. He can't do anything about it, but he can try his best to save the people. But I love that in this second to last panel, he's talking to Commissioner Gordon as he's jumping out the window. Like, just love how artists and writers have some really fun things to say. And then of course he lets all of the villains in Gotham know that Batman is still alive with some really great Disney level fireworks displays. And that's how we find out that Batman is alive and well and living in Gotham City.
Yay!
Thank you so much, Joel. I did appreciate the Mrs. Doubtfire reference too.
Thank you. I'm glad
I caught that. And it looks like we almost had a Steel Magnolia's homage in there too. He would have hit Weeza if she would have been there.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think of my favorite Batman story? Where were you the night Batman was killed? You guys liked it?
I like it. Yeah.
It'll do, pig.
It gives me like Stephanie said, it gives 1966 Batman vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Just the storyline would be something you'd see like this could have been a great story to have it be in the TV show, like 3 episodes or 2 episodes. It would have worked then. And like I said, the version of Joker that's in this, very Cesar Romero.
Mm-hmm.
Two-Face was very giving me Tommy Lee Jones from Batman and Robin. It's really good. Very camp, very fun, very cool.
You know who I was surprised that we don't see? Although I think in the beginning of my story they mentioned that they corralled the available villains that they could. Some were still in jail, but there's no Penguin.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No Pengy.
Yeah.
There's only one criticism, or not criticism, but there's only one thing I will say about the Joker giving off Caesar vibes.
Mm-hmm.
There was no mustache under the white. So
that's true. There was no mustache under the white. There was no mustache. That was the only thing.
Yeah.
It was a good story. Thanks for picking this. I love it.
Thanks. Have any of you ever read that before?
No.
Okay, cool.
Loved it.
So I'm collecting that. I'm missing one issue of the 4 issue. So, and it's the Riddler issue is the one I'm missing. So I've got to get that in and get that into my collection to complete that. So, because it's just such a fun story for me. Yeah, thank you guys for reading that with me. I really appreciate that. So now we're going to start our book show portion and talk about what's going on with our channels and so on and so forth. Ladies first. So, Signature King. No, I'm just kidding.
I knew it. As soon as I heard it, I knew he was going to flip it around.
No, Stephanie from Transmissions from the NX7062. Tell us about your channel, which once again, there is a link in the description for this video for folks to sub up, your new season that's coming, and then you can do a book show.
Okay. Well, thank you again for having me and putting the links and everything else. It is Star Trek based. Yes, we do go off topic every now and then, usually when this one's there. But it's fun. It's live on Monday nights, 10 p.m. East. So anybody that wants to pop over, you get to tease Ryan in the chats, and we have an open discussion about basically anything Star Trek. Sometimes I'm lucky enough and I get guests, and I've been working on my guest list for this season. So hopefully I'll have some really cool guests to be announcing. But my first, and this kind of sort of rolls into my show and tell. My first episode of the season is always talking about Star Trek Las Vegas, because I go every year and I have the most amazing time. And this year I actually did Star Trek New Jersey for a day too, as a guest, which was weird. I had a booth at Star Trek Las Vegas for the show, but then I was a regular attendee for the day at Star Trek New Jersey, which was kind of fun. And Signature King.
Yes.
Was it Signature King that went to Shore Leave? Somebody I know went to Shore Leave.
Shore Leave 45. Yep, that was me.
Yeah, I was there.
Yep, we talked about it.
Yep. I was there. You just ignore it because I was with all the cool Star Trek people. So you just kind of.
I was with all the cool Starship Troopers.
No, Starship. I have a really good picture with Michael Rooker. He's a trip. He's an absolute trip. He's a sweetheart. But yeah, and Dina Meyer is really nice too. So
Batgirl. Batgirl.
Batgirl.
She was Batgirl.
Oh yeah. And Birds of Prey. Yeah, we talked about that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So my show and tell is all right. So there's a little bit of a story. So you guys saw me earlier. I have it for those of you that don't know. I have a dog. He's amazing. And lately he has become obsessed with tennis balls.
Oh.
Like absolutely obsessed. And I thought I had a canister of tennis balls at my parents' house because their guest room is basically my room for storage. So I went looking yesterday when I was there, and I didn't find that. I didn't find tennis balls, but hiding behind the dresser, and I have no idea how old this is. But I found this old piece of paper. This is a creation event.
Whoa.
When they were in Philly. It's one page. And I took it out and I just realized it's not. Oh my God. I just realized. I thought for a second it might have been Jonathan Frakes' autograph on the back of this, but it just hit me whose autograph's on the back. This is back when stars didn't charge. There was a point where you could go to a convention and if there was a star and you were willing to stand online for 2 hours, you could get their autograph.
Yeah.
So I pulled this out, literally pulled this out from the behind the dresser, dusted it off. There's an autograph on the back of it. And if I say danger, if I tell you that it is from Lost in Space, It's not the robot. It's the guy that always used to run around and be scared of everybody. It's the doctor.
Whoa.
It's Jonathan Harris's autograph.
That's
wow.
You gotta put that in the frame, girl.
On the back. Yes, I do. I can't believe. And you know why? I thought it was Frank's, but then I read, this is literally the schedule of events, and it said Jonathan Harris is on it. And then I went, oh my God, I remember this convention. I remember going. I remember there was a cosplayer, Boba Fett, that I have a picture with. He looked amazing. We were online. I think we were waiting for Jonathan Harris. And there was this guy walking up and down the line. But just so you guys can understand how far creation has come, this was literally a 3-day event, and this is all that you got, was this little piece of paper.
Wow.
This is what they do now. They publish entire books.
Yeah, you got the annual.
Yeah, this is just Star Trek Las Vegas. This is the schedule from the 2021 Star Trek Las Vegas.
Wow.
So they have come a long way from this to this. But when you find these lying around, I can't believe it's Jonathan Harris's signature on the back of it.
That's cool.
Dr. Smith.
Nice.
So, and one more thing, I found this one. That's who was missing too, but I know she hadn't been created yet.
Yeah. See that, Tony?
I see.
I got, when I adopted LeBeau, I got a huge bag of, like, his foster just gave me like a bag of stuff. She was in there. I did not buy this for him. She was in there with another Batman themed toy. I'm like, this dog is meant to be mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you
Exactly.
can see, he's already kind of gotten rid of her little.
Yeah, she's had a facelift.
Yeah, but yeah, and this is my Harley, the one that Arlene Sorkin voiced. This is my Harley right here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool. Thanks for sharing with us. Mr. Joel, your channel, your book show.
So, as I already said earlier, I went to a comic book store today that's not like closing down. They decided they can't afford the lease where they're at right now, so they're putting everything in storage and then just doing cons for the year and then finding a better place that's cheaper and better to afford for rent. But I got a bunch of stuff on sale, and I'm going to be doing a video of this on my channel this coming week, so look for that. What I'm doing on my channel right now is I'm going through and trying to get all of Wonder Woman Volume 2. So I'm about 25 comic books away from getting that done. So keep an eye out for those videos. And the books I wanted to share with you, I don't have too much Batman books in my collection, but I realize I do have some that are amalgams of Batman.
Oh, okay. Do it.
I have Bruce Wayne, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. from the amalgam.
Whoa!
And then I have 2 other amalgams of Batman. They are Dark Claw. We have The Legend of Dark Claw, and then we have Dark Claw, the animated series, which was actually done by Paul Dini.
Oh, nice.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So these are the 3 amalgam comic books I have that are very Batman related. Of course, this is just Nick Fury combined with Bruce Wayne, and this is Wolverine combined with Batman.
Yes. And that is so perfect to do that this week when we had the release this week of Deadpool and Batman.
That's what made me think of it. I was like, wait a minute, there was a fun, interesting comic book that came out that's amalgam rated because they're starting.
Yeah.
That's the start of the new crossover between DC and Marvel. And the other thing that I had up a few minutes ago that I was going to show you guys.
Yes.
This right here.
Wow.
The original print.
Gorgeous.
Actually, original. I think it was ink drawing by Tim Sale, and it's from 1995. I got this at San Diego Comic-Con because I grew up going to San Diego Comic-Con. And they used to have an auction where during the con, they'd invite artists to draw something. And on Sunday of the con, they would sell off in an auction their whatever they drew. And so I got this, and then I went and put it in this frame. But I've had it since 1995, along
That's awesome.
with this giant poster too. Has also been in my collection.
Yeah.
That's a cool poster, man. It really is.
But I've had this forever, and yeah, one of my first big art pieces I got that's comic book related, and always goes with me everywhere I go. But you can't; it's original. No one else has this.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations. That's a find.
Yeah, that's the stuff I have. That's my show.
And I should have asked this at the beginning of the show. But since we brought up Deadpool Batman, who here bought that or is going to be buying that? No, just the top row. Okay.
The top row.
I don't have a local comic book shop anymore. Mine closed.
Oh no, that sucks.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Of course, I bought the variant cover that's Captain America Wonder Woman because there is an 8-page Cap Wonder Woman story, which I've been staying away from spoilers, but I've just heard generally it's the best story in the entire book.
Now I want to get it because I didn't know that was in there.
Yeah, there's a cover by Terry Dodson who does the interior art on it. It's
Okay.
Cap and Wonder Woman.
I'm gonna have to go buy. I have 5 comic book shops in the area. I will try to see if I can find that cover. And
As we know, Diana is fond of blonde guys named Steve in World War II.
he is. Got
He
a
is.
blonde guy's name.
He is kind of perfect for her.
Yeah.
Right?
So I haven't picked mine up yet, but it is on hold for me. So
Nice.
I was going to get it this week. The new issue of Wonder Woman got delayed. It was supposed to come out this week, got moved to next week. So that's why I didn't go get it this week. So, yeah.
How far are you from your local comic book store, Ryan?
It's a 90-minute drive each way. Now, there are comic book stores closer
Oh,
to me than that, but I have a decade's relationship with this store.
Oh, absolutely.
This store takes care of me in ways that you want a comic book store to take care of you.
yes.
You know, and I don't care if it's 90 minutes then each way because they take such good care of me when it counts that I'm loyal back. I'm a very loyal person, and that definitely extends to my comic stop.
And what's it called?
Westfield Comics. Maybe you've heard of it. It's in Madison, Wisconsin.
Westfield. All right.
Yes, they do a
Shout out
subscription
to
service.
Madison.
They do a subscription service as well. So
Nice.
they've been in business since the early 1980s, like 1980.
Whoa.
So they've been around a while.
That was
Yeah,
a-
mine's like that too. They've been around since the 80s.
Yeah,
Mine's been around since the 90s, the early 90s. But it's like
nice.
so cool to see.
Yeah.
Shops like that. That's
My
awesome.
shop is unique. They actually own the building and the land it sits on.
What?
That's
Smart.
amazing.
So
They're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they are not going anywhere.
that is very special.
In fact,
If-
the
if-
owner died a couple years ago, and they just gave it to the guy who's been there the longest, the employee. Like, here you go.
Wow.
He's got
Oh my
deed
God,
in it.
that's
He got it in the bill.
Yep, here you go. Here it
Wow.
is.
Gosh.
Don't ruin it. No pressure, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
current owner of my shop, he bought it from the original owner 2 years ago because the original owner, he'd been working as the manager there at the store, so he knows the store in and out. So it was just like, yeah, I'm retiring, so here, this is yours.
Signature King, I was telling you, I think I told you, I don't think I told Stephanie or Joel, but I told you about the guy that owned the movie theater in town when he died, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had his services at 3:45, 6:15, and 9:30.
Oh.
Signature King, what's going on in your kingdom?
Shorts are coming up. I'm working on this new file cabinet over here. This is contents from one drawer. This is 5 short boxes worth of stuff.
Wow.
5.
Wow.
So this is a lot, and there are 5 more drawers that need worked on. So this is quite a bit. So yeah, I'm not too thrilled about having to do all that. My back is already starting to hurt.
I've been there, man. I get it.
Yeah, so there's a lot. So a lot of shorts. I'm doing some cool stuff with this. Some shorts coming out. But in terms of book show, I was actually going to show my Batman Deadpool.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
I got the foil Mark Bagley cover.
Did you read it?
I have not.
Okay.
I just wanted to get there and get it. So that was one. I'm just going to show some other cool Batman
Yeah, go for it.
foil that I have picked up. So here's the Jim Lee foil variant for Batman. What is it, 158?
Yeah, that's the beginning of the Hush too, right?
Yeah, Hush 2. Absolute Batman Noir cover.
Oh,
fun cover.
Nick Dagata foil. Absolute Batman logo foil.
Ooh.
yeah.
Although when I have this on a T-shirt, and when I wear it, my wife and my daughter tell me they cannot see a Batman in here.
It is a bit extreme for the way
Yeah.
the logo.
To me, it looks like a vehicle with its doors open.
right?
It does.
Yeah.
Another foil, pretty plain, pretty simple. Love it. Classic. And probably one of my favorite foils for Batman and the Joker.
Oh, love that.
That's a good one.
That's classic.
Green.
I have the variant in this one too, where it's flipped, where the letters are purple and the background is green.
Oh, nice.
And I also have this Batman Superman gold foil, so that's cool. Just got some cool foils to show because I didn't have time to grab something cool, so I just like.
That is
Oh, I think you did show some cool stuff.
Foils are always cool.
Yeah. So on my channel, there's the back issue of the week YouTube short, which is Batman focused. It's Batman 50, Volume 3, the wedding of Bruce and Selina, or not? So we talk about that in the current back issue of the week. Signature King, why the heck didn't I do a Comic Book Editions new video this week? I didn't. Did you notice that your notification didn't go off?
I did notice.
Yes. What happened?
I bet you're going to tell us.
I just didn't do one. So,
That's okay. I haven't done one in a few weeks myself, so you know.
but I do have one coming up this week. So tomorrow, another back issue of the week YouTube short drops. It hasn't even been recorded yet, so hopefully that will get done before I go to bed. And another Comic Book Editions video on Tuesday afternoon. Last week I did do a live with John's Comics with Friends, another JLA versus Avengers, which was fun. So that's what's going on channel-wise. For a book show, I'm only going to show one thing tonight, but I just think it's cool. So, because it was Batman Day yesterday, I'm sure your Batman's in here somewhere.
Nice. Nicholas Scott. So great.
Yeah. So this is the variant, the Through the Ages variant that was done this past summer. Originally, this was commissioned for, the same cover was used on a different Batman issue years ago in Australia for King's Comics as an exclusive. They had the whole Trinity as an exclusive, and those covers got carried over finally as a U.S. release this past summer. So that's what I decided to use this Batman. I think it's 162, is it? Yep, 162 for the book show portion tonight, because there's got to be a Batman you like somewhere on that cover.
Probably classic. Always
Yeah.
go classic.
Yeah. And I think before we wrap up Batman Day, I want to go around. Who is everyone's favorite supporting Batman character? It can be a villain, it can be a hero. Signature King, I'll start with you.
Oh, geez. Well, that's tough because honestly, it doesn't matter who you say. You can make a good justification for it.
Yeah, you don't have to explain your answer. You just have to pick an answer.
I'm gonna say Alfred. I'm gonna say Alfred.
I was surprised by that, but that's a good choice.
Sometimes, and it happens a lot in different Batman stories, and even the movies and the TV shows, that Batman, or not Batman, but Alfred can kind of give Bruce looking at things a different angle. You know what I mean? He can kind of talk him to look this way instead of that way. So I'm gonna say Alfred.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Joel, how about you?
I think I'll put some stuff back on my wall real quick, and then I'll let you know who back on the wall,
Okay.
and I'll tell you who that is.
All right.
Nightwing, definitely Nightwing. He's one of my favorite supporting cast members.
Stephanie.
Never going to argue with Nightwing, but Harley.
Cool.
I think one of the things I loved about Harley, and it goes back to Arlene Sorkin, who I absolutely loved. She used to be in my soap before she was doing this, is that she was supposed to be a one-off in the animated series, and they just loved what Arlene did with the character. And so thanks to her, we actually now have Harley as a fixed character, and I just love Harley.
Cool. My number one answer was going to be Nightwing as well, but since he's been taken already, I'll do someone that hasn't been taken. So everyone's, because there's so many Bat characters, everyone can at least get a turn. After that, I would say I think it's Catwoman, because here's a character that is evil, but Batman, she can still get to Batman, unlike in a way that no one else can, except for maybe Talia al Ghul. But I don't know. There's been so many different incarnations of the character, but the consistent thing is the character's usually cool. I don't care if she looks like a pirate from the 1970s. She still is cool. So that's what I'm going to go with for mine. I did want to remind you, too, that you can share a cover with us on Instagram and have your own book show portion by playing along at home. Just use the hashtag Fanboys Live in the retro review. You can show something Batman oriented. That would be pretty awesome. I shared on Instagram yesterday a Batman cover, an exclusive cover from the Warner Brothers Studio Tour shop. So, well, friends, this has been a great time. Thank you for hanging out and celebrating, granted a day late, Batman Day 2025 with us. There are links once again in the description for this video for transmissions from the NX7062's YouTube channel and Joel the Geek's YouTube channel and the Kingdom's Signature King's YouTube channel. Of course, we had some great people in the live chat too. Sub up to everyone and keep this community growing and strong. And thank you all for being here for another edition. Signature King, we got a first-time guest coming on next week.
Oh, geez. Who is it?
Geek Out with Roscoe.
Oh, Mr. Roscoe. Wow.
That's what we're doing next week. We're going to geek out with Roscoe.
Awesome.
So I'm looking forward to that. And until we get that chance, I hope you have a happy, healthy, successful day. If you watched on the rewind, thank you for making it all the way to the end. And to the Batcave.